Hello and welcome to Jet TV. This is part 32 of my Lizardman Let's Play, and we are working our way through the final ritual. We have now beaten off the Skaven hordes which were coming and attacking us, and I'm just getting my armies back into a nice defensive position. I do need to recoup a few units around the place. Got quite a nice income, so I'm actually going to send for an intervention army against the High Elves. So this guy will have spawned up here somewhere, maybe? Where did he spawn? I'm sure I just dropped that. Oh, right up here, actually. So that's actually good. There's also a Chaos Army there, my Intervention Army, and there's a Skaven Intervention Army now. They do have a very big army here, so I'm not necessarily going to take it, but we can always hope we smash Tor Elir. With that, though, as I said, it's not particularly likely. But they did throw one at me, so it's only fair I throw one back. Let's just pop through and do all of my buildings, get my economy, keep pushing my economy. This city's quite good for my economy. Once I've completed this final ritual, I can also swap out some of these walls in some of my central areas, because I'm not going to need the defences there as much to fend off the chaos invasions, which will really push my economy for when I'm conquering the world. As I'm sure I've mentioned to some of you guys, well, I mentioned last time, once this is done, I am going to go and invade Ulthuan and deal with those pesky High Elves of Lothan, because they've been at war with me since about turn 20 in this game. Though I've not really seen them much, but they've thrown a few annoying intervention armies. Okay, I'm going to end this turn here. Just got a few people. Toman has leveled up again. Let's start popping up his extra leadership. Not that he really needs it, because he is very leveled already. Another one of our priests, skink priests, is leveled up. Let's get him chain lightning. Okay, Saurus Old Blood, so we're going straight down the damage route. Okay, so that's the end of the turn. Now let's see what happens. Now I have actually sped everything else up to fastest here. Let's just double check that's taken as soon as it gives me the chance. Oh yeah, I forgot about this army. This guy is going to go and hit Teclis somewhere, because Teclis has got armies wandering around the place. So I thought I'd try and capitalise that on that and maybe capture a settlement or two. Right. I appear to be freezing it. Let's just check everything is staying on fastest this time. Yeah, everything is still on fastest, so yeah. So that's one done. However, they've left the city undefended there. So hope we might be able to take it, though they've got a lot of armies, so I don't think they will hold it long enough. But anything to cause a bit more problems for them, especially as they've got armies spread around the world, which really does leave them in a very in a more tricky state, because they're going to have to be they're not going to have as many armies at home dealing with all the guys appearing here. Okay, so Mazamundi is doing his thing. He's just in a constant war up here, grinding through units and armies back and forth, which is good because it's kept the High Elves dealt with for me. But we do have another faction which has taken a settlement, so the Blue Vipers have actually taken another territory here finally. I think that will have been from the Lawmasters, so that's hopefully going to, well, that should mean that it's doing what I'm doing, it's cutting them off a little bit, which means that hopefully Mazamundi is going to be able to take advantage of that and expand a little bit, because he is one of my allies, you know. All of the Lizardmen factions are my allies. I believe in the lore, though I'm not particularly good on the lore. They are all actually very, very closely allied, very good friends with each other. Let's see what my intervention army does. Okay, that's not what I'd have done, but I'm not complaining. And these guys are declaring war on me. Let's bring all my allies in. It's not really that much of a bother. They are quite big, but they are somewhere I'm not really having to deal with at the moment. I'm surprised that army didn't go straight in for the city. Though it did seem to win that battle, so that's not bad. Now Tor Elir. Now I'm a bit worried about all these factions because they don't particularly like me at the moment, and they could potentially cause a bit of a problems because they could sail into my lower territories which aren't defended at the moment. However, they also have a good trading relationship with me. Even though they don't like me, they've stayed. Even though I've got all the negatives, they've managed to stay friends with me the entire game. So we'll have to see what happens. Come on, dwarfies. We've got the dwarfies wandering around in there doing their thing, and that orc. I should probably deal with that. Okay, what do these guys now want? No military access. And the Blue Vipers, I don't think are going to. I think they've finally bitten off more than they can chew. I'll tell you what, if you give me more money than that, I might accept it. Oh, no, whoops, that's not what I wanted. Payments. Demand payment. I'll go on. I stop them asking every 2 seconds. They're not really going to be able to push many places, so... Well, we've got this ruins I need to rebuild. I forgot about that. Oh, we have orcs raiding in our territories. Right. Let's pick up this one. 5,000 more territory, and I am going to put you ashore here. Because he can go get Plain of Tuskers, then he can push back out to sea. Alright, let's have a look actually. Is there anywhere else? I want to build another lord here to start pushing up here in the sea as well. And we've got, I think we need to just do a little bit of recruiting in some of these armies. These guys are up to full strength. These guys are up to full strength. Kroq-Gar is there. I've got the army there. Got to pop a few more units into this guy. This army I'm going to leave as it is because I don't want to be spending too much money. Right, I think I'm going to have to go to war with these orcs. Now they are raiding my territory. Call all my allies in and push them out, and next turn I will go and finish them. And just another quick through to work out where to upgrade. You don't need the growth anymore, and you certainly don't need the happiness anymore. You still have Skaven corruption here. That's because I've just not really been trying, doing much work to get rid of it. This one does buff my region's income. Okay, we're actually good here because we've got 1,300 less, so save some for next turn. Ratok is just being leveled up. We've got the Thalonqueth. I can't pronounce his name at all. Let's get him Chain Lightning. And now it is time. So I can hit there. Then there, then there. So this is all one region. It's in the mountains, so it's a bit more defendable. Now, I've been told, they kept mentioning in the early stuff that some of these rogue armies are mixes of multiple factions. But so far I've not actually seen any which could just be could be bad luck on my part, but it just seems a bit odd. So we've got a nice little hold here. Let's knock that down for the time being. Let's no, straight into income. We'll throw up a wall next. Let's start throwing up a wall now so we can defend it while we consolidate here as well. Obviously I could even just hold here because this is a pivotal point in the middle of their territories, which will stop them pushing armies up and down their coastline. Again, with here and here, that really does cut their territories in two, actually, because it's such a good defensive area, this, because to get up they have to come through me or go through, I don't know who is here, but it adds distance to their movements. Not that I think they've got many things up here. Right, so my Slan has leveled up. I'm not quite got the ones for banishment. Let's start pushing down this one to make him terrifying as well. And get him regeneration. Or I could go for... what's this one do? No, that's an augment. She Shield of Safri is also... this is a tricky thing. It does get a bit tricky deciding what to get. We are upping weapon strength because now he's on a Stegodon. I think that does buff the Stegodon as well, though I really should double check next time. And he can shoot while he's moving. I don't know if they keep shooting while they're in combat, but it is quite cool. So while they're charging into the enemy, they shoot. However, I just like getting those Stegodons in because they are very powerful just charging in. So we've got Loffen again doing their thing with their armies all over the place. This is the problem with being spread out, and it's the problem I've got because, as you can see at the moment, I've only got one army over in Lustria. So if somebody was to do a major invasion of Lustria, you know, I'd be in a bad position. However, I'm quite secure because I've got lots of allies around me at the moment. So I've got Itzel and I've got the blue guys Zlan Hupek, you know, around me, really giving me that sort of bastion, that defensive wall. Because anybody who goes to war with me will have to go to war with them as well. So they'll be either be completely cut off or have to push through their territories first. And they're both very powerful. They're not as powerful as me, of course, but they're both quite powerful territories in their own right, which is why they don't want to vassalize with me yet. At some point I will force them, not vassalize, confederate with me. At some point I will force them to confederate with me. Clan Pestilence is still in existence, and let's see what these guys do. So that army is still full. That is a lot of ancient Stegodons. I do not know what it is doing, however. And it just got its butt kicked on the gate, which I didn't think was part of the ritual site. So, yeah, they just got themselves killed. Stupidly not going for the ritual site. They probably could have taken the ritual site straight out. But this is why you can't control intervention armies, because if they were player controlled, they would be far too powerful. Itza is doing its thing. And we've got the blue guys up here fighting black arcs, which is probably not the best idea. And obviously the Greybeard Prospectors here also doing their thing. Okay, I'm probably going to give these guys access as well, especially for 1,000 gold. And here goes blue. I can skip through them on individual games. I do skip through a bit faster. But I think it's always interesting to see what's going on in the world, right? So they've just got themselves repelled there. I'm going to push up and smash that army next turn. And we're going to keep this aggression on up there. We've got the Bone Clubbers tribe here. So they look to be orcs. And the College of Pyrotechnics, which I reckon are a human faction. And a random Chaos army wandering around up there. Okay, so that's buffing up our income from trade. My intervention force has been destroyed, so... oh no, we can get the extra money from trade tariffs here still, so let's get that. Okay, you have leveled up. You know, let's get one of these. Okay, and now we can start pushing into economy. And I'm going to push up to here. And these guys have actually... oh, they are... no, they've not taken the settlement. Another nice easy auto. I'm going to keep that one on food. I just got Skink Priest Adept achievement. I don't quite know what that was for, but we'll. I'm sure it's something good. Possibly because I've been leveling them up so much. Let's reclaim Tuskers, which I'll hopefully be able to build up again quite quickly. What else can I get here? I'm going to leave everything else there for the time being. Let's keep building up the Elven Ruins, and let's push this attack. We've started all of these orcs, let's clear them out. Gorgazan has already gone, it's a nice easy auto there. Let's eat some orkies. They probably don't taste nice, but and I'm going to push straight up through here because they have another territory up here somewhere which I want to deal with. Where does this place actually? Saratoga. So, oh, I thought it had multiple regions. So I might take here, and this might be where I start launching my invasions from. But then again, I can always just literally go from the coast here straight to Lothern when I do that. We are slowly burning out all the chaos corruption here. Okay, so things are going reasonably well just now. Let's pop a little bit more. You are full. Let's start leveling you up a little bit more as well. Get you a few more units so I can potentially push you out. Actually, I wanted to do something with this army, didn't I? I wanted to put something else in it. I'm going to change my Feral Stegodon for an Ancient Stegodon. Sorry, Steggy. Oh, that was a bad idea because it's going to take too long. I'm just going to grab another Stegodon for the moment, simply to get one back in quickly. So that was silly, so I've just lost all his experience, so that's not a huge problem. Long run, I probably do want an Ancient Stegodon in there, but but for the moment that can wait. You, however, can get an Ancient Stegodon, but that's all I can afford this time, because Ancient Stegodons... So we've got Stegodons and Ancient Stegodons, so poison attacks, fire while moving, they both do poison. This guy is a specialist they're both specialist artilleries. I mean, this one is just the higher level version of it. We can also get the Feral Carnosaurs. Let's compare the two. So let's pin the Feral Carnosaur. The Feral Carnosaur is faster. Has more melee attack and has more melee defense. However, it has a lot less armor, and it doesn't have a ranged attack. So to me, okay, you want the Stegodons for the Carnosaurs for speed, but the Stegodons are also very good. So you probably want a mix of the two. And long run, I'm probably going to change Kroq-Gar's army, so that it includes a nice mix. I might even simply compare how much range damage they do to these guys. Certainly the Bolus, I might even... But they're good for getting behind. I might drop out my Croxies, however, because they are an old unit now. I'll put them into another army and change them for Ancient Stegodons. For an Ancient Stegodon, so I can have 2 Carnosaurs and 2 Ancient Stegodons in here instead of Kroq-Gars. So I've got a nice line here as well. Anyway, let's stop debating and let's keep on with this campaign. Right, so let's start pushing up here because you're going to go for this one to start with. And let's try for some confederations. Which isn't going to happen. Okay, we can pop another thing in this one. And we have a few more level ups to do. And you've leveled up again. Let's grab you Shield of Safri this time. And my Skink Priest has leveled up. Sorry, my Skink, not Priest, my other Skink thing. Skink unit. let's start boosting his HP. Okay, and that's the turn. So Loffen are doing their thing again. Not sure we're going to get any battles in this particular one, guys, but that's because we're just consolidating. We're just holding off so we can complete this ritual. Make sure I'm in a position so that once I complete this ritual, once I complete this ritual, we can really start pushing. Then, you know, completing this ritual is the key thing, and completing this ritual while remaining in a state where I can go on the offensive afterwards is the key thing. So I want to complete this ritual, and then it is going to be time for the invasion of Ulthuan, which is going to be a massive, you know, there are going to be a lot of Lizardmen sailing over there and invading, and then we'll start also consolidating Lustria. At some point I'm going to have to go against the other Lizardmen factions as well to bring them to heal. And potentially even the other elf factions, but that can probably wait until I've done other things. Once Ulthuan is done, I've pretty much completed this campaign. It'll just be a matter of cleaning up. I don't even, you know, cleaning up. I think I'll be able to start pushing out bigger and bigger armies there at that point, and just splurging over the world. Obviously, taking up these horrible territories up in the north in Nagaron will be quite tricky, because they're not necessarily good territories for me to take. So I might just destroy the settlements there rather than capture them. Because you don't need to control every territory to dominate. I think you just need to have a domination victory. I think you just need to kill everything. What do you want? I thought I'd already given it to you last turn. Bone Clubbers tribe. What are the Bone Clubbers doing? They are fighting the other orcs in a very orc way. And we've got the Chaos guys here. Okay, so Loffen has got another confederation off. Oh, that's not nice. They can keep that territory. I don't need the gold. And that is the top knots destroyed, and we get some more Blessed Saurus warriors. And you have leveled up. Soon he will be able to get Immortal as well, which will be useful. Okay. None of these guys got really low level troops, so you can go back into the sea now. I'm just going to save the Blessed Saurus warriors for if I ever need them, because just having them there to be able to recruit quickly is always useful. Some of these other Blessed units are great. So the Blessed Temple Guards, which I've not managed to get in this campaign, are really good. Right, let's have a look at what's going on up here. So Teclis is bringing up an army. Let's move back it down to defend against that. Oh, these guys actually have some territories. Do they start appearing on here at this point? Ah. Not that they're ever gonna make friends with me. They are a mediumly powerful orc tribe. And let's push up. Or a 10k and an artifact. So let's just keep leveling up, and let's end turn again. 13 turns, guys. We are now on 13 turns to completing this ritual and seeing what happens at the end of the last ritual. So we'll see what happens. I also want to know if once I complete the ritual, if all the debuffs I get from doing the rituals fall off. If you know, the world has returned to normal, we've saved the world, because you know, actually us and the High Elves want to do the same thing. We want to stabilise the vortex to keep the world safe from chaos. So why they hate us for trying to do it rather than them, you know, it's we're all on the same side, guys. So why they're hating on us for doing it is their own problem. But you know, so but no, hopefully at the end of it we'll get relations back to a reasonable state with most factions. I mean, obviously the Dark Elves and the Skaven have complete and utter other plans. The Skaven want to bring through the Great Horned Rat, and the I don't know what the Dark Elves want to do. They probably want to let chaos through because they're weird. They want to destroy the world, let everything burn, especially anything High Elf. Again, I'm not the best on Warhammer lore, so I could be completely and utterly wrong with all of this, but we'll see. I think Clandestinence is about to lose it, get completely ruined. I will take your peace treaty. 2,000 gold. It's not to be sniffed at. I'm not getting involved in any wars up there at the moment. It's doing its thing. Pushing up. I think they're probably going to start pushing into Teclis' territory too. In fact, I think Teclis is now... I think Teclis is broken. He was getting really ascendant and really powerful. And yet now he seems to be being, you know, he's just been chopped in half by me, and I hadn't even noticed that Orc faction in the middle of him. So I think he's not in a pretty position, actually. He's in a position where he's starting to, he's actually probably starting to struggle quite a bit there. I'm going to Zerg this army from up here back down just to support if it can. However, I might end up bringing it straight back up again to deal with any Elven incursions. We shall see. So, the blue snakes, or whatever they're called, are actually being dealt with by another thing. So they want to do a tab. I'll get me some Blessed Hordron. They want me to establish a trade agreement. I don't think that's going to happen.
You may approach. Make your petition.
I don't think these guys like me. I'm not even going to bother trying that one. Now, one thing I really should do as well is change some of my infantry, some of my cavalry for horned ones. Because horned ones are quite better. I've not really been using a huge amount of cavalry, if I'm honest. But the horned ones are generally slightly better, though they do have the disadvantage of enraging. So you can lose control of them to an extent as well. Let's keep you moving. Let's get all these extra buffs. Let's take the campaign. We get Trunk of Maps again. I want to start getting the annoying... I want to start getting the really good ones again. The ones which were giving me all the buffs. My Elven Ruins can be... have some building going on again. And let's just have a look through. Okay, that's a lot of money spent very quickly, but it all helps. Right, so Kroq-Gar has leveled up again. He is getting he is very powerful, and I've not even vaguely upped his armour at all. If I went through all his armour things, I'd probably actually give him quite a lot of armour and extra HP. But I just don't feel he really needs it, because he's powerful enough as it is. I'm going basically to try and make his army even cheaper, because his army is getting fairly expensive now. Okay, turn 12. So we've mostly been seeing end turns here, guys. I do apologise, but this is the place of the game at the moment. I just want to be I want to be staying dug in, ready for whatever can get thrown at me here. Our only real bit of campaigning is against the Lawmasters over in the west, in Lustria. Let's see what he is doing. He is trying to get around me. Oh, I messed up there. I completely forgot about that army. Okay, I've lost there. They've not even taken it. I will move and I will smash that army next turn. I mean, I'm a bit overexposed here because I don't have a spare army to be guarding my territories, but that's not a problem. This is just a bit of fun over there, just to try and mess him around a bit, which is working quite well because he's, as I said, he's split in two there. And Mazamundi is still under pressure, though he's not at war with Teclis at the moment, so we'll see what happens there. A lot of black arcs there being chased around by that Lizardmen clan. I always forget what the blue guys are called. Zlanhupek. Pestilence is fighting like anything against Itzel to stay alive as well. And Avalon. What are Avalon doing? They don't like me. Oh, they might even be sailing down towards me. Interesting. I might have to move that other army back up then to my coast just to make sure that Avalon don't get into my territory. Got some Dark Elves wandering around up there with their Cold Ones. And Dark Elves do get Cold One cavalry as well, which is they get some very good Cold One cavalry. But they also have the downside of enraging. Again, they have a lot of ranged units, as do the High Elves, which I don't particularly like facing as Lizardmen, because I feel Lizardmen don't have as good a counter for that, because obviously, well, we've got ranged, and it's nice range. You know, things like the Chameleon Skinks are very good. They have a lot of missile resistance. Loth Sea Guard. I've played a High Elf campaign, and the Loth Sea Guard are just... You form a wall, and you let your archers, High Elf archers sit behind and shoot, and everything dies. Everything dies, and the benefit of Loth Sea Guard is, if they push through, if they've got a monstrous unit which smashes through your line, and they engage your Loth Sea Guard, you use one unit to pin them. And they are... There's nothing they can do. They are stuffed. Your other archers pull back and shred them, and your Loth Sea Guard are also pinning them and doing a lot of damage, because they are also a ranged, they are also good anti-large infantry. Okay, so that went nicely. My Slan has leveled up again. So we're going to start pushing down here. Oh, could I get this yet? No, I need to be ranked 16, so we're nearly there. Let's have a look. I'm going to pop some into training just to keep this army being leveled up as well. He already has his Stegodon. You just need to start moving. As do you. One day I'll get one of the buffs to my income again. Oh, hang on. Okay, let's end turn here. This is turn 11. We're going to save after this because we're at 35 minutes, guys. So we will save after this restart. Oh, I need to turn him around next turn. Well, we'll see what happens. Because a little invasion's not terrible once I turn all my armies up to face the High Elves. But we shall see what goes on. I'm not going to be subtle. I'm not going to spread out my forces when I invade Ulthuan. I am just going to send them as one great big hammer straight into the heart. We're going to just sail straight up at Lothern and land multiple armies right next to Lothern and take it. I'm not going to destroy it. I'm going to take it, and I am going to turn it into Lothern and the territory around Lothern, because Lothern is a large capital with extra building slots. I am going to turn Lothern into somewhere to start building more armies straight out of the gate, so that I can constantly reinforce my armies invading Ulthuan. And then I'll probably find somewhere similar in Nagarond, even though I might not necessarily keep Nagarond. But as I said, once I've dealt with this, I don't have a huge amount of armies. Well, I've got 5 or 6 armies, but they are very powerful armies, so I can, so 2 of those together can probably take on most other factions on their own if I wanted to. So dropping 4 or 5 straight into Ulthuan, led by Kroq-Gar, will probably do the job. I'm probably going to send another one over to Lustria to help deal with the Lore Masters as well. But no, the High Elves have just annoyed me. They've been at war with me for so long. I'm not even going to bother trying to make peace with them at this point. I've been trying to save the world, and they've been going to war with me. It's not nice. Let's watch this, guys.
The final piece of the puzzle. A relic to turn the cogs of the world and bring alignment lay beyond the great falls of Azteco. A key would be discovered. One to unlock knowledge both welcome and unwanted. The fabric of reality was torn. From the realm of ruin, the Skaven's horned god mocked its prey and revealed his plan. The celestial event that weakened the vortex was of Skaven design. A parody of the true comet. The Council of 13, the Ratmen's highest authority, were architects of this grand manipulation. Its task complete and fuel expended, the rocket fell back to the surface. When the wreckage was discovered, its purpose remained unclear until now. It was the catalyst to weaken the vortex and goad the other races into action. They knew the reptiles would seek to bolster the failing vortex, but they were ready. Every ritual cast, the magic was stolen, absorbed into the Horned Rat's bell. Now soaked in ritual power, the bell will be moved to Ulthuan's heart. If it tolls 13 times, the Horned God shall emerge from the vortex, the world doomed. Then the god was gone. Alignment is close. But Sotek's nemesis may yet bring ruin upon us all. The insidious Skaven seek to bring their terrible god into this world, mighty lord. This must not come to pass. Continue your course of action. Crush the noisome ratmen and take control of the vortex for yourself.
So, this whole thing, we've got 10k for this, but this whole thing was a Skaven trick. It was a Skaven trick with them. They're trying to control the vortex and they've been stealing my power to help control it. And now I've got quite a lot of Skaven armies. 6 Skaven armies have been dropped into my territory here to come and deal with them. So I'm in a good position here. This army is a little exposed, however they're probably going to be pushing down. Plain of Tuskers is gone again. I'm going to keep Kroq-Gar here so you can push up to Telaqua or Quetzalcoatl as needed. Obviously I've got the army back here at the Golden Tower which can hold a lot being thrown at it. And to get down to Sotek they've got to push right through a lot of my territory. So I'm not so fussed about that. Yeah, I think if I let it get... so yeah, and we've obviously got here defended nicely as well. So I'm not worried about losing this, I'm worried about the damage they will cause. And I know full well, actually this last invasion, because I've dealt with this beforehand, they don't necessarily do what you expect. In my High Elf campaign, they ignored my ritual sites and just ran roughshod over my empire. So for example, these guys, if they decide it's too difficult to go down here, they might even just start pushing up through the deserts here and yeah, they have the potential just to charge up here and take everything out. There would be very little I could do to stop them. I would bring my armies up to bear, I would slowly take them out, but by the time they'd done it, I would have lost an awful lot. Anyway, with that guys, we are going to be ending this cut here. We're at 42 minutes, so we've overrun a little bit. Next time we will be dealing with these Skaven. Guys, and once they're done we will push through to the final battle. Thank you very much for watching guys. Please feel free to give any feedback. I am sorry we haven't had any particularly interesting battles in this one.